What is a CSA? CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture.
It means that customers invest in the idea of locally produced food, and they pay up front, and we grow their vegetables for the entire season.
A typical week of produce goes according to the seasons. For example, early on, like right now, we'll be getting a lot of greens. For example, lettuce, spinach, radishes, Swiss chard, kale, among others like Chinese broccoli or cauliflower.
We have 90 full shares. I would venture to say that only about 40 of those shares actually consume all those vegetables in one family, and the other 50 shares split the share, meaning that they pick up one week, another family picks up the alternating week, and so that's how we get to the number of about 130 families. We started our CSA in the year 2000. My husband and I planted an oversized family garden and realized that there was way too much produce for ourselves and our two small sons at that time, and we started asking my coworkers and other parents at the swimming lessons where he was taking our sons, and so we started with 7 members, 7 people that invested for 12 weeks of summertime vegetables, and we grew over the years to over 90 full shares, which means right now we're feeding over 130 families.
What let me start creating a CSA was the idea of being supported by a community and also being self-sufficient. Try to eat what I can produce. That was also the idea of having my own little business. What makes a CSA buying better than a grocery store?
Well, a CSA, you know the farmer, you know the land, you see how they care for the land. It's locally produced. We, on our farm, call ourselves sustainable, but we really grow with organic practices. And so you're buying something that's grown locally, you know the farmer, you know how the crops are raised, you know how the soil is tended, and you're not receiving vegetables that are brought to your supermarket 3,000 miles away.
How COVID impacted CSA? I think for us, it makes us to follow certain rules to be safe, and also to be very conscious that the virus can be spread if we don't follow those guides. And also change some habits in our life.
Well, I have to say, it was really scary at the beginning of the year last year, wondering if we could even do our business, because I was worried about transmission, making sure that we kept the place clean enough. How are we going to harvest the vegetables? How are we going to harvest the vegetables without the help of our subscribers? Because we have a really unique model where we encourage our members to come and help us harvest once or twice during the season, and we actually depend on their work because it's my husband and myself, and then 2 of my kids help intermittently. My daughter is really quite involved and she's helping every single harvest, but we need extra hands when it comes to harvesting beans and cherry tomatoes and sugar snap peas and things that are really time consuming. And so we didn't know how we were going to run our business with the pandemic, and so we had to make a lot of changes. We installed a sink out in front of our barn. People are to wash their hands before they enter the barn. We developed a very short window where people could come and pick up their vegetables, but they had to maintain social distancing, and they had to come during that time because we built a walk-in cooler which holds all our vegetables and keeps them really fresh, but we didn't want people to enter the walk-in cooler and be breathing in a small space. And so we pull out all our vegetables, we set it up in the barn, and we hope it doesn't get too hot. So we're learning how to adjust to that. But so it was, how are we going to harvest our vegetables? How are we going to preserve our vegetables? How are we going to present our vegetables? And were people going to even want to participate? And so I think on the positive aspect, people are staying around because of the pandemic. They're not going away for the summer. So for some people, that was a bonus. They wanted to buy something local. They wanted to buy something that they could count on. They knew that we would be following COVID-safe practices. Because in my other life, I'm a family doctor, and so I spend a lot of time working with COVID and really kind of came to this with a very definitive plan. Even before the Department of Ag came out with their recommendations, I'm like, I know what to do to keep people safe. I'm doing this every single day in my practice. And so we put some of those things into play here in our barn, at our farm.